Welcome to PVTV International. I'm going to present this week's editions of our news roundup. Cabinet News: NUG warns of forced Rohingya conscription by military junta. On April 21st, the National Unity Government NUG issued a statement revealing the terrorist military causes forcible conscriptions of Rohingya residents in Rakhine State, aimed at stoking ethnic tensions. These individuals are subjected to military training and arming. The NUG urges vigilance among Rakhine State residents against the junta divisive tactics, emphasizing the need for mutual respect and understanding to foster trust between ethnic and religious groups. Furthermore, the announcement highlighted the junta's terrorist activity in Budidao, including the burning of local homes and offices belonging to international humanitarian organizations. National Unity Government urges efficient supply management during the Central Committee for Interim Implementations of Public Administration meeting on April 24. Prime Minister Mawin Kaidan urged those responsible in the field to ensure troop supplies and regional reserve are well stocked. We need to acknowledge the current ground situation and address it promptly. For long-term management, it is crucial for those on the ground to focus on supplying troops and maintaining regional reserve efficiently to utilize the budget effectively, said the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister then said that the National Unity Government must emphasize the importance of local officials serving the people without becoming dictatorial. Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Disaster Management, Southern Shan conflict victims receive 10 million kyats in aid. Up to 95,000 residents in Sisai, Hpapun and Loikaw Township of Southern Shan have been displaced since January 21st due to clashes between the Unprovoked National Liberation Army (PNLA) and allied forces against the military junta. The Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Disaster Management announced this on April 25th, reporting 59 civilian injuries and over 170 buildings destroyed. The Unprovoked National Liberation Organization (PNLO) distributed 98,899 Thai baht, approximately 10 million kyats, to affected residents in Sisai. Unprovoked airstrike by military junta claims life in Loikaw Township. The terrorist military junta dropped two 300-pound bombs from their Su-30 fighter aircraft on Kongda village, Loikaw Township, at around 11 a.m. on April 20. According to an April 22nd announcement by the Ministry of Human Rights of the National Unity Government, there was no conflict in the area. One of the bombs landed on a house in the northern part of the village, resulting in the tragic deaths of a family of 6, including 2 children, and completely demolishing the building. Additionally, 20 civilians in the vicinity sustained injuries, and 20 other buildings and along with 1 car and 1 motorcycle were damaged. Kongda village, with a population of over 700 and nearly 200 buildings, was targeted by the terrorist military junta despite the absence of any conflict in the area. The ministry condemned this act as a blatant war crime. Ministry of Foreign Affairs, National Unity Government and allied forces offer aid amidst conflict on Thai-Myanmar border. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the National Unity Government, along with allied ethnic revolutionary forces, declared on April 21st about their readiness to collaborate with the Thai government and relevant organizations in assisting Myanmar citizens across all sectors. According to the ministry, clashes between the terrorist military junta troops and revolutionary forces in Myawaddy and surrounding areas along the Thai-Myanmar border have resulted in the deliberate targeting of civilians. As a consequence, thousands of local residents have fled to Mae Sao, Tak province, and neighboring areas. The ministry urgently called upon relevant officials to provide essential humanitarian aid and accommodations. They emphasized that the number of displaced individuals is expected to increase as long as the military junta persists in its targeting and attacks on civilians and local infrastructure. Ministry of Defense, National Unity Government forces triumph over military junta in Hpapun operation. The Ministry of Defense of the National Unity Government announced on April 26 that their forces have prevailed over the terrorist military juntas like Infantry Battalion, LIB 434, securing a significant cache of weapons and ammunition. The operation, initiated on March 19, 2024 in Hpapun District, Kayin State, culminated in the captures of the military junta's police stations and outposts by March 24. Revolutionary forces achieved complete control over Hpapun town on March 26 and seized the military junta's LIB-19 base station there on March 30, obtaining a substantial quantity of weapons and ammunition in the process. The operation was spearheaded by the Joint Coordination Committee of the Southern Military Regions and involved the Karen National Liberation Army, the People Defense Forces, Force for Federal Democracy, and the Burma People's Liberation Army. Ministry of Home Affairs and Immigration, Myanmar population engaged in People's Defensive War against Military Council. The entire population of Myanmar is engaged in a People's Defensive War against the Military Council, which executed a coup d'etat, exercising the right of self-defense to ensure the survival of the entire population amidst oppressive, arresting, attacking and lethal actions by the terrorist Military Council. On April 21st, the Ministry of Home Affairs and Immigration of the National Unity Government announced that 22 members of the military junta were killed and 17 injured in a single day. Ministry of Health, Union Minister Sowezo advocates for health equity at World Health Summit. Professor Dr. Sowezo, the Union Minister for Health and Education of the National Unity Government, participated in a section titled Geopolitics and Health, Achieving Equality in a Divided World at the World Health Summit held in Melbourne, Australia, on April 24. During the meeting, the Union Minister emphasized the importance of listening to the voices of the people, communities, and countries to shape future health initiatives. Ministry of Natural Resources and Environmental Conservation, Prime Minister calls for development of federal resource policy for equal rights. During a meeting of the Union-level Resource Management Body on April 24, Prime Minister Mawan Kaidan of the National Unity Government urged relevant ministry to collaborate in crafting a federal resource policy that guarantees equal rights for all citizens. We would also like to urge the relevant ministry to assist and support the release of a federal resource policy. Only then will the foundations for the construction of a new federal democratic state, which we all desire, be solid, ensuring equal rights for all citizens, the Prime Minister emphasized. Military Affairs Summary for 4th week of April 2024. Fighting broke out in Sakai, Magui, Mandalay and Tanindar regions, as well as in northern Shan, Rakhine, Mon and Kayin State. During the 4th week of April 2024, military council troops abandoned their base in Balor, Mane Balor region in Pa'an District, Kayin State, and the Karen National Liberation Army, KNLA, took over security. KNLA and PDF troops withdrew from Kokore as Khondar force advanced to reclaim Nyawadi, through revolutionary forces still hold the town. The Kachin Independence Army KIA is attempting to seize control of Simbo and Sumbrabon in Kachin State, while the Khondar continue to launch airstrike in the area. Meanwhile, PDF and allied forces are aiming to take over Tija in Sakai region, while the military junta has been launching airstrike on the non-military targets such as civilian homes and local markets. The PDF Mandalay force seized the military junta base in Tayachang village, located 10 miles from the Defense Services Academy in Piunan. However, the junta has been launching continuous offensive by land and air, using heavy weapons to deter revolutionary forces from approaching Piunan. The Dona column of the PDF and allied revolutionary forces captured the administrator for Zongne village, calls are sub-townships for carrying out the military junta's forced conscription in Yi Township, Yi district of Mun State. 5 militia members were also captured and their weapons seized. In the 4th week of April 2024, resistance offensive and city occupation battles are ongoing across the country. Let's see what do we have for our weekly roundup news in coming weeks. Thanks for watching PVTV International.